Hello, you beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
We got another Redox reaction for you guys and for our viewers and listeners. We hope you guys are doing well. A quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of our show. And wow, y'all, as y'all can tell, we are in a different angle.
Facts.
And that is because of you guys, you know, through the support, through donations, through just the genuine comments on pushing us to do better and, you know, liking our reactions. We are, you know, doing some changes to our production and wanting to improve how everything looks. This is not the final result, according to Charlie. You know, we're just playing around. But as you can tell, we added...
Yeah. Your whole spiel there, this is not the upgraded look.
This is not. We are we're in the process right now, but we just want to give you heads up that we are working to get better with every upload. Yes, wow. Abe and Charlie, how you guys doing?
Good. I'll just mention too on that part, I think right now our biggest focus is just kind of cutting down on setup time. Just because it takes us a lot for this studio to be set up the way that it is. So that's the biggest aim right now is if we can cut down on setup time, then hopefully we can get more episodes out. So that's probably the biggest attraction to what we're switching up right now. So apologies if you don't love the new angle. I think you're getting my good side. So if, you know, whatever. But I was like, we were talking about the graphic, usually the podcast graphic, and I usually go over here and I'm like, that's not where it's going to be. It's going to be over here. Yeah. So I was like, I was a little confused. But, we're rolling with it.
Yeah, we are. Charlie, how you doing, man?
I'm tired.
Charlie's grinding out here, bro. Yeah. Charlie's grinding.
We're going to figure this out. Don't worry.
Yes, we are.
We're just trying to cut down on the setup, like Davi said and Abe said. Because it takes us like a half hour to set up, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you do it like 3-4 times a week.
What's a half hour to set up and a half hour to tear it down?
Yeah. So that's an hour just of doing that. So if we can cut down on that and spend more time just sitting here and enjoying.
That's a whole Sopranos episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
It is. Speaking on that, Abe, can you read comments from our previous episode?
Yes.
Isabella, episode 12.
And we're in the season finale. So this is
I know
y'all were, you know, wanting us to do more like quicker reactions, but like, look, the build up to this final season.
We are here. I honestly totally forgot that this was the season finale.
Yeah, this is the season finale.
But yeah.
All right. This first comment comes from Dylan Blue 2271. Yes, you're absolutely right that he, meaning Tony, refuses to confront the issue of his mother in therapy. And the reason for that is shame. He feels it's shameful to admit that his mother may, in fact, be an awful person. He can't deal with that proposition. I think that's a normal thing for therapy. Unless there's been something horrendous and fully evil enacted by a parent on a child, people in therapy often have difficulty acknowledging that their parent isn't a good person and they internalize the guilt. Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a lot of that in general with, you know, very tight-knit families and stuff. Like sometimes you don't realize, you know, although people might have the best intentions or like may love you, they may have done some very negative things to you that end up being, you know, make you the way that you are. And I think that's what's happening with Tony, and he doesn't want to admit that because it's a shameful kind of thing. And the next comment here comes from Traveling Man 1. Don't worry, guys. Nobody on planet Earth understood The Sopranos in all its details, complexities, and veiled truths at first watch. Nobody. Everybody watches the show multiple times, and there's still debates and interpretations of what happens in the show, even all these years after it ended. It is impossible to get it perfectly first try.
I think that just speaks on how great this show is.
Facts.
Wow.
I love shows that you can interpret like what's going on, and it's not super cut and dry of like, this is exactly what's happening, and you know, it adds more layers, and it lets you discuss the way that we've been doing and create debates in the comments like it has been. So I like it. I'm all for it. And I apologize for the people who are like, y'all are stupid. You're getting this wrong. I'm so sorry. If that's why you're here, apologies. We're going to get things wrong. Last comment here comes from Ruby3595. I saw the wind and earthquakes as natural and supernatural forces of turbulence and instability representing the conflict his subconscious is trying to bring to the surface. A wind that blows his illusions away could bring awareness. The awareness that his mother is the exact opposite of the ideal fantasy of loving and nurturing. In reality, she is malicious to the point of wanting him dead, would shake his world like an earthquake that destroys his foundation. Some really good symbolism
Ruby.
there.
That was beautifully written.
Ruby's cooking.
Ruby has been cooking ever since we started the show, man.
Yeah, I'll say that I didn't think anything about the wind the first time. Davi was adamant about it, so with that explanation, I can understand that for sure. And I think the wind specifically was in the scene with Olivia and Junior when they were kind of waiting outside in line for something. Definitely a sort of like tumultuous family dynamic with the wind and the earthquake symbolism. I really like that.
Yeah, with that being said, Charlie, season finale of season 1 of The Sopranos.
Okay, we know what we're gonna do.
Till the government indicts, anyway.
Jimmy, this answers your concerns?
I think a lot of good ground was covered.
I guess that's it.
This looks like they're setting up Jimmy.
You're right, it's him.
All of a sudden, he asked for a meeting to discuss shit we already covered. It's weighing a wire.
You got my okay. Make sure you send a message to everybody else.
Awesome, bro. That's
Two-Face,
like,
man.
I know, man. Just knowing that is just,
And he's got no clue.
Here we are.
I wonder if they're gonna question him first or. Oh man, this is the approach. That's
Yeah.
so sad.
Jimmy?
Yeah, that's right. I'm Jimmy.
Yeah, that's right.
My man. Have a seat.
No questions asked. Oh, he was ready.
Fucking punk ass pieces of shit. Would you forget our captain? Why don't you call for help in your radio mic, you fucking rat? Oh, God. What's the matter? You're not wearing one tonight? Nah, he didn't have time to put on anything decent. God.
With the silencer.
Who the hell?
What is this?
is that?
Is that Human Centipede?
Yeah. Was that? I've never seen a Human Centipede.
I'm gonna sound stupid. I've never seen it either.
Jesus.
What the
Bruh.
hell?
How'd she get here from her nursing home?
What? Yo, is everyone just...
Brother, what was you doing in that bed bouncing like that? All by yourself.
It's me, Anthony Jr.
Well, you've got whooping cough. Get yourself under the vaporizer.
Holy shit.
Oh man, she's losing it big time.
I will never speak another word to you again, Satimir.
Grandma, Aunt Satimi is dead. It's me, Meadow.
Such a brute.
Oh.
Why were you walking on Mountain Avenue at this hour?
Shut up.
She's my grandmother.
Hi, Grandma.
I,
Ah, shit.
You know this young man?
of course. He's
Oh, my gosh.
my grandson.
And is this your house, dear?
That's so sad.
Yeah.
If it's real, because I still have
Yeah, now all these people are having us doubt because
Yeah.
he's spoiling shit in the comments.
Yeah, facts.
Isn't it interesting how this memory loss is cropped up right after you failed to be killed in the carjacking? You think it was a carjacking?
Of course not.
Charlie, you're right.
Got an idea who was behind it, and you don't want to go there.
Maybe you don't want to go there.
What are you talking about?
Well, let's track it. Right around the time of the shooting, you were having hallucinations of that Isabella figure, the protective, loving mother. Your subconscious was shouting something at you. On the day before the shooting, you said to me that she kept going on and yet again about news stories of mothers throwing their babies out of windows.
Well, why don't we put our fucking cards on the table here? What do you think? My mother tried to have me whacked because I put her in a nursing home?
I say what your mother has, at the very least, is what we call borderline personality disorder.
A borderline personality disorder.
Let me read to you from the DSM-4, okay? Borderline personalities are very good at splitting behavior, creating bitterness and conflict between others in their circle.
Oh. Holy shit.
See, we're through, you and I. We're finished. And you're lucky if I don't break your fucking face in 50,000 pieces.
Yeah, see, I had a feeling that she would have tried to put the pieces of the puzzle together for him, but then I forgot about how defensive he gets over stuff like that, and I didn't realize he could potentially react that way.
Snap, yeah.
Yo, that was wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Ladies, compliments of the house.
Hey, Aribuco.
Want a pair of hippos to walk out of here?
Got some porta pancetta in there.
Finally got his restaurant back.
Nice.
You hiding back here? Your best friend's on table 12. When are you gonna bury the hatchet?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Still?
I love
love Carmela like a sister. We just don't want this place to become another mob hangout like the old Vesuvio.
When are you gonna get it into your head that a certain amount of that kind of patronage creates buzz?
That kind of buzz we should avoid in droves.
They're still having this argument.
Realistically speaking, I feel like you got to move out of this of the town that they're in.
You get out of Jersey, get out of New York.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to leave.
I was over at Carmela's the other night, Ro. We had some Zabayon that, well, now, of course, we did make it together.
Yo.
But everybody was just raving about it.
Please, you made it, basically.
I better get seated in order.
No, wait, stay here. Take a load off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, Carmela.
It's fantastic. I realized this morning I can set one of the dials to the millennial countdown.
Is that Jackie's watch?
Yo, is this dude going around just,
Thanks again, Ro.
What?
This priest is a freak, bro.
What?
That's crazy.
Okay.
Or he tripped over someone's body.
Probably Jimmy.
Oh!
He got a rat stuffed in his mouth. Crazy. Crazy.
Nah, bro, they're wild.
Crazy.
You know Agent Grasso, I believe.
Yeah, how you doing?
Is it a heart? Like, what was that?
Oh, no. It's like Illuminati.
You haven't heard what's on the tape.
Play it, because I don't give a what's on it.
You and I are not Gumbada, Tony. You on the one hand, me and Agent Grasso on the other, even though our ancestors all hail from the same sunny peninsula. But we do share some cultural ideas. Religious, culinary,
Brother, get to the point.
matriarchal. Maybe we can motivate you to testify.
Well, why don't you get the kumquats out of your mouth and get to the fucking point? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Straight up.
Boy, Anthony must have really gotten under your collar. Admit it.
Ooh.
So they do have a bug in there.
Yep.
Psychiatrist. He's been seeing one for a while now.
You wired Green Grove.
Really?
It was my idea. Everyone else thought it was a waste of money.
Well, who, for Christ's sake, Livia?
All of them. Raymond.
Damn, he's gonna find everything out.
If this is true, Livia, you know what I mean, I'm the boss, for Christ's sake. If I don't act blood or no, I have to.
I did not think he was gonna find out this soon.
Damn, bro.
Unless he's in denial immediately.
I feel like this could be a big shift for Tony.
No, like, how easy gonna be? Facts in terms of
His family in general, how he's going to feel about everything.
You remember me, Arthur Bucco?
That's right. Victoria's boy. What's the matter with me? Oh, how are you, Arthur?
Some obvious use of different takes there, but whatever.
Yeah.
How's your mother? You call her every day.
Mom passed away
Really? When?
about 6 months ago.
Please, give her my regards. Is she still on that crazy diet?
Oh, damn. Yeah, she's definitely. Wow.
So oh my god.
I'm going to be real. Screw all the people who.
In the comments now, because now
now I'm really doubting. But if I was watching this first time through, I would believe what the hell she's saying. But now I'm doubting everything that she's doing. Like, this to me could be all an act.
Oh, you okay. For me, it's the opposite.
Because there's comments. Okay, nothing. I'm not gonna say that.
No. For me, it's the opposite. Now, seeing this, now I'm thinking that she's actually like losing her mind instead of putting on an act.
Think so?
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
just
what Dr. Melfi told Tony.
Yeah, I don't
could
know.
be too.
Yo, I don't know, man.
When Dr. Melfi told Tony, and this is what I was thinking about it, it also relates to Livia, like the flashbacks that we saw of her, like when Tony was younger and everything like that. Like, she started conflict and she was super, not compassionate, none of that stuff. And it's still consistent. Could she have both? Yeah. Potentially? Both Alzheimer's and borderline personality disorder? Like, that's the thing that I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
I brought you something from my restaurant. I don't know if you remember Vesuvio.
Oh, of course I do. That was way back when your dad had it.
Good for you. Yeah, I got a new restaurant.
Shout out to Artie, man. He's like literally one of the most genuine characters.
Mm-hmm.
After what my son did to you, how can I look you in the face?
Tony.
Uh-oh.
What did he do now?
You don't blame him for setting the fire?
Oh, my God.
Now we should all be grateful that nobody was incinerated to death.
See?
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. No way, dude.
Bugging.
No way.
She's bugging, bro.
What, bro?
No, I just wonder if Artie's gonna think that she's just talking out of her ass like everything else, or if he'll actually be skeptical.
If I'm your uncle, I gotta finish what I started. He could strike first.
Yeah, and he won't use boys to men this time.
Boys to men.
Well, kind of person can I be where his own mother wants him dead?
I was going to wonder if he tells Carmela.
2 pricks with 9mm. My self-esteem is non-existent right now.
I could kill her with these 2 hands. The next time I see her, it's gonna be...
You gotta play the concerned daughter-in-law. You gotta stay even-keeled for the sake of the business.
the business. And let me tell you something, Tony. Dollars to donuts, this Alzheimer's thing is an act. So she can't be called on a shit.
She's convinced.
Uncle June and I, we had our problems with the business, but I never should have asked him about eating pussy. This whole war could have been averted. Cunnilingus and psychiatry brought us to this.
That's a crazy lie.
It's all because of eating pussy.
Someone's got to have a t-shirt that says cunnilingus and psychiatry on that shit.
Tom, Jesus Christ, relax. What the f*** you doing here? Taking us to God's, putting in the marina next door. Look at this baby I caught right off the point here.
Oh! Toma. Very classic mob movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That recoil, though. Whole arm workout. Oh, or are they just going to send his body to the bottom of the ocean? Because they brought in the cinder blocks or whatever.
I saw that.
I was going to apologize.
No, just wait a minute. Wait. Oh, no. All right, wait. No. I need to talk to you.
No! Do I have your word that I'm in no physical danger?
Yes, I am humbled that you would take my word. Yes.
Emergency services, take the nature.
Come on.
Protect yourself, Melfi. There you go.
I take no pleasure in the fact that I was right about your mother.
So he's admitted it.
Dreams since you heard the FBI tapes?
Some sex dreams.
Brother.
Involving?
My neighbor, Gene Cusimano.
Go on.
Interesting.
Oh, we're doing it doggy style. I'm doing a doggy style, and I finish, and a big ass is...
Well, it's interesting that you would say a big ass, because Gene is quite slender.
We got bigger things to talk about than Gene Cusimano's ass.
Like feelings of worthlessness sparked by your mother's plot to have you killed?
One of the reasons that they tried to have me clipped is because I'm seeing a shrink, you.
Oh, you know that patient-doctor conversation is privileged, and I couldn't testify against anybody.
Well, maybe they know that, and maybe they don't. Either way, they're using it as a fucking excuse.
You never mentioned any of your associates by name.
You're in danger.
Get out of here. That's not fair.
Fair? What are you talking about, fair? Oh, God's fair. They don't give a shit about fair. Leave town. Today. Right now.
Damn.
I can't just do that, lamb it. I have a life. I have patience.
Well, you tell them August came early this year.
It doesn't work that way. I have patients who are suicidal.
Well, they're not going to feel any better about their life if you get clipped.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm going to work on this problem with the people that pose a threat to you, and I'll take care of it. And you'll be able to come back.
My God. People are going to get murdered, aren't they?
Don't worry about those distractions. You keep your eye on the ball. And I know what you're thinking.
You have no idea what I'm thinking.
You're thinking you're going to go to the cops, but they're not going to help you because you can't give them anything. You've been a good doctor to me. Thank you.
Jesus, Tony.
Damn.
What a way to say goodbye. But
No.
He could have done that whole interaction so much better.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's just being straight up.
Oh,
He's
What are you doing?
How could you? With a freaking
Yo.
rifle, bro? A freaking sniper rifle.
That restaurant was like my child.
So they got in your ear.
3 generations of Bucco sweated over that same stove. Even your mother treasures the memory of Vesuvio.
My mother?
Don't say she's lying, Tone. Because why would she? Do me the respect of not treating me like a fucking idiot. Piece of shit. When you blew up the restaurant, you made me party to a criminal conspiracy. Did you ever stop to think about that?
I don't know what she told you. 2 Austin investigators gave that 5 a clean bill of health, Artie. Why the f would I blow up your restaurant?
To help me! You hear your uncle's gonna hurt my business by staging a hit in my place, and that's your solution? To burn it down for the insurance money! What kind of stupid, sick, twisted logic?
My mother is going senile, Artie. And you saw her.
I love my new place so much, and this ruins everything!
I swear to God, I didn't touch your place, Artie. My mother was confused.
Look me in the eye. Tell me, you didn't lay a finger on my place!
I didn't burn down your restaurant. I swear on my mother.
Might as well show me shit to him anymore.
Facts.
Take it easy! What the f you doing?
Jeez, Artie.
I was just complimenting him. This man's losing it. I mean, I kind of understand why, but that's whoa.
Let's go and get together.
Oh my gosh. That is. Oh my. Yo. That's awkward, man.
Is this pork cooked? You know, I read last week in the paper about this family in St. Louis Obispo in California. That whole family died of trichinosis. That's uncooked pork.
That was last year. That same family.
Listen to him. He knows everything.
Yeah, she's a wind-up merchant, bro. All she does is like wind people up.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear Artie Bucco came to see you.
Who is Artie?
Anthony.
Is that the Jeopardy song?
You know the restaurant? They had a little fire in it.
Came to see me? Where? Where are we talking about? Here?
Nah, bro, she's a gaslighter. She's a gaslighter.
Is she the OG gaslighter?
Yeah. 1000%.
I've lost faith in everything.
Moved away from God quite some time ago, though. Is it fair to say it's not just this recent crisis?
Yeah.
Don't tell the priest, bro.
Shut up, Father Phil. Crazy ass. Your lustful ass.
I don't just hate this man. I hate all men. I hate life. I didn't go to the insurance company.
Why not?
Well, legally. What if I'm wrong? I could get hit with a defamation suit.
Arthur, you know what your heart is telling you. I think the only reason you haven't told Charmaine is because you know she'll insist you go to the police immediately. And this will jeopardize your restaurant. You must be strong.
All due respect, Father, you're getting off the subject.
Yeah, facts. He's pushing a little too hard for that. I feel like.
I need to tell you something, and I want you to hear from me. About 4 or 5 months ago, I started seeing a psychiatrist. You know, I was passing out, and they couldn't find nothing. She's been helping me with that. Okay, come on, give it to me. Give it in my face, come on.
Well, I'm sure you did it with complete discretion.
Business was not discussed. No names were mentioned. Junior knows. He's decided to use it against me.
They're like not even phased.
They're holding back.
I was seeing a therapist myself about a year ago.
Oh, shit.
I had some issues. Enough said.
Look at that.
Okay.
They're all gonna open up.
Okay, Paulie.
We know Christopher's been there, like
depressed.
Depressed, yeah.
It'd be better
mental
if
health
we
wise.
could admit to each other these are painful, stressful times. But it'll never fucking happen.
Damn.
I'm so dead.
What about you? You got a problem with this?
Was like marriage counseling?
Yeah, like that. Sorta, yeah.
I mean, I could understand Christopher's why he's pissed off because the way Tony has acted around him to like finally get the review. It's really shocking.
Brother, I hate this brother.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Father Phil.
Oh damn!
Oh
she brought
my gosh, you
hers.
brought it.
Brother.
Yo.
Carmela.
Oh no!
Go cook for your family, girl.
You good?
Oh come on! You could have given that to somebody.
Crazy.
That is crazy, bro.
Could have found a homeless dude, bro.
Oh shoot!
That Adriana?
Yeah.
Oh, she's back. What is she there for? What was she saying?
A job.
She's working 2 jobs to become a music manager.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
Everything is going so good.
He had a piece of chicken on his fork and then it cut and he didn't have it. Sorry, I catch things like that.
Peanut butter crunch.
Oh, I love peanut butter crunch.
You're in a good mood today, Dad.
It's like a weight lifted off his shoulders.
And if Chucky calls, you get me on his cell phone.
Shut up, Mikey.
He's about to get popped. Please.
Right? It's time. Where's Tony with the Glock, bro?
Damn.
Brother, he's gonna die on this run.
It's gonna be a drive-by.
He's gonna die from that whooping cough.
Oh, who's in the car? Oh, it's Paulie and Silvio, maybe.
Is it like they always roll together?
It looks like Paulie.
I can't tell.
It does look like them.
Christopher.
Oh,
Christopher.
oh shit.
Christopher and Paulie.
Did he miss? If it looked like he was so close to him.
Yeah, but even then, you gotta aim, brother.
No, I know. Might just be the camera angle playing tricks.
Yeah, Paulie can't make this work, bro.
Oh, they got him. He's gone.
There you go.
Oh, come on, please. Please, come on.
Fucking poison ivy all over.
Oh.
My friend Brendan, you shot him in his bathtub naked. No chance to run. No, I swear to God, it wasn't me. It was Junior. He hated that kid. It was him. Yeah, right. It was Junior. Mr. Magoo. Oh, come on. Please.
I can feel it itching me already.
Oh my god.
Very mob movie. Super mob movie action. That's crazy. I'm dead at the poison ivy, though. Bro, Paulie's a sicko, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's a sicko.
Jeez.
Oh shoot. Whoa.
This is different.
Corrado Soprano, FBI.
Sorry. That was so funny.
Oh shoot, they're taking down
all his whole crew.
All of Junior's crew, yeah.
So did Tony talk?
No idea.
That's what they wanted. They wanted names.
Talk about
Interesting.
time, and he's lucky he's still alive.
No, it wasn't them.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's Uncle Junior.
Look at the old guy making him do the perp walk. A legitimate businessman.
Dad, cut the crap. Junior got busted.
According to authorities I've spoken with here.
Cool. Anthony Jr.'s an idiot.
Michael Grabbag Palmisi. Authorities believe Palmisi may have fled the New Jersey area, acting on prior knowledge.
Oh, lucky him.
Oh, they think he fled?
Mm-hmm.
Try out his new running shoes, you know.
Get behind the camera.
Not the kid photobombing.
Bro, I feel like there's so many unintentionally funny moments in
this episode.
I'm gonna worry about now. It's the guys that got pinched today. If they flip.
That's true, too. He's not in the clear.
Yeah, that's why the timing sucks.
Let me put this to you as simply as I can. You can avoid sentencing on these charges if you will testify that, in fact, you were not the boss of North Jersey. That, in fact, your nephew, Anthony Soprano, was and is.
Idiot. He'll never say that. I feel like he's got too much pride to say that.
No, he won't.
My nephew running things? Not that Struns.
Do it.
Not in this life.
Told you. Man's ego's too big. I mean, also Omerta.
Brother,
Just like that.
get the dude.
He's going to be the next one to get popped.
I swear to God. I'm about to come to the TV and do it myself. I'm going to say right now, too, how the hell is this man not 1,000,000 pounds? This man be eating ziti from everybody's wife.
Just came to check on you guys. See how you're holding up with these indictments.
I told her she was not to use my card again.
No, that's mine. One True Thing, just out on DVD. I was over at Video One anyway. I thought maybe you might want to take your mind off these stressors.
Damn, I've heard of Video One before, but I think I have.
My real concern for Tony.
Father, he doesn't give a flying fuck. You know it and I know it, at least for the foreseeable future.
Then that's even a bigger reason.
He's a sinner, Father. And you come up here and you eat his steaks and you use his home entertainment center.
You do think I'm a schnorrer, don't you? A parasite.
Yes.
No, you know what I think, Father? I think that you like the whiff of sexuality that never goes anyplace.
I have feelings for you, Carmela. I admitted it. It's my job to deal with them so I can carry on my pastoral duties.
How does Rosalie April fit into your feelings for me? I really appreciate everything that you've done for me, Father Phil, truly. The religious counseling, the book on Buddhism, the wonderful chats. I am very fond of you. But I think you need to look at yourself.
Get out of here.
So I think you have this MO where you manipulate spiritually thirsty women, and I think a lot of it is tied up with food somehow, as well as the sexual tension game.
Come on. You got it.
Called you out, bro. Come on.
Whoa.
He's going to take the DVD. Yep.
She doesn't like Renee Zellweger, bro. Take it back. See ya. Peace. Oh,
Mr. Soprano.
Face.
Your wife found you good. We left a message on your home machine. Your mom's had a stroke.
Oh, shoot.
Stroke?
The news on TV yesterday, it really upset her. Not that it's any of my business. Anyhow, it just happened.
Ma, I know what you did. Sir, please. Your only son, your middle child.
Look, she can't answer you. Her speech center's been affected.
Yeah, my ass. I heard the tapes, Ma.
He's going to kill her just by telling her that.
Uncle June's in jail now. And I got one more little last detail I gotta take care of. I'm gonna live a nice, long, happy life, which is more than I can say for you.
All right, that's enough.
Keep her.
Idiot.
You're the right thing by you. You're trying to be whacked?
She doesn't understand you.
She's smiling. Look at the look on her face.
He's going ballistic, bro. Oh, my God.
She got a fucking smile on her face.
She was smiling. It looked like she
Well,
was
no,
smiling.
because the thing is, when you have a stroke, part of your face
Yeah.
droops.
Yeah.
So it could just look like that.
Yeah.
And he's just assuming.
Oh, shoot.
Damn. Talk about time and place.
I know.
He's getting really bad at that.
Also, he did the thing that is like sacred rule is like never talk down on your mother. And
Oh,
just
yeah.
So
He
much
snapped.
shit to her.
He snapped.
Go vacation.
She go vacation.
I mean, you told her to leave, bro.
Dad, give it up. We're not gonna make it to Aunt Patty's.
Why did I buy a goddamn off-road vehicle?
To waste petrochemical resources.
What street are we on?
I think it's Walnut Parkway.
Got an idea.
Tony with his ideas.
Whose house is this? Oh, it's the restaurant.
Artie, thank Christ.
We went to pick the kids up at school because of the buses and all. We can't get to the house. There's a huge tree across Mountain Avenue.
Oh, Mano, I'm closing Susie's last few people leave.
Go to Mickey D's, they'll be open.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
That's
It's
foul.
the wife, bro. It's because the way his wife was looking at him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They gave me steroids too, but it fucked me up.
I'm so dead. Look who's here.
And look at he has all the
Oh yeah. The
ointment.
Poison
The ointment.
Oh yeah.
He was about to not let him in when he was already got his guys in there.
I'm so dead.
You know what I mean, Adrian.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, they're back.
What?
Cause Skip seeing a
It's supposed to be
psychiatrist.
itching, bro.
How's that sit with your ass?
I usually do sit with my ass. Why don't you sit with yours? This bothers you? You're so fucking psychiatrist. Not a woman. You're the one with the fucking issues. Woman issues.
Agreed.
What are you getting at, Paulie? Nothing. He's gonna be the new boss now. Name and everything. Wish him buona fortuna.
Oh, God, Artie, you saved our friggin' lives here.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Oh my god, bro, I'm so hungry.
Right?
I am
I'm
so
ordering food right after
freaking
this.
hungry, bro. Wow, it happened. Junior is arrested. All the Junior's guys went down
For something
and
unrelated to Tony. it
something
seems like.
completely unrelated. And I'm just running from Tony's perspective. Where do you think Abe his head is at right now with all of this?
It's weird because I feel like his head could be in a million different places, but also he weirdly seems at the most like peaceful at this time. And like because of some pretty bad turn of events, if you look at it from the face, right? Like Junior's in prison, his uncle's in prison, bad. His mom just had a stroke, bad. But based on obviously what those two did, I think it almost like feels like, you know, two problems that he doesn't have right in his face anymore. For the time being anyway. Obviously the indictments complicate stuff and everything like that. I don't want to dismiss that. But, you know, he knows right now he's safe, right? Like Junior's not going to come after him because he's in prison and whatnot. And also I feel like the telling his crew about his his psychiatry and seeing a therapist was very felt like a weight lifted off his shoulders. We saw the scene where he wakes up in the morning in his robe and he's in a good mood. Usually he's in a shitty mood, whatever. Like we haven't really seen that until I feel like earlier this season, maybe like the first 2 episodes we might have seen something like that. But you know, they called out, oh, you're in a good mood, blah, blah, blah. And now he's out with his family, even on a really shitty night, like where usually maybe you'd see his temper flare or like him getting even more increasingly frustrated. He's able to enjoy a night with his family. So it's interesting. It ended on a very peaceful note for Tony, is what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I think
I'd say so.
I think it did end on a peaceful note, but also in a kind of like, man, there's still mad stuff to go down.
1000%.
Obviously, it's more of like, because what did you think, you know, it raining in that last scene represented? Because I think there was a lot of significance. Them going back into Artie's restaurant, they're all there, but it's also like completely raining outside.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, what do you think that the symbolism of that is for you?
Say it again. Water equals change. That's what I learned, at least in school back in the day. So yeah, I mean, like he's having a good family moment, like he said there. And I think that might be just a representation of that. It's like, it's weirdly enough, it's a calm during the storm instead of a calm before the storm, because the storm just happened and there's a calm with it, but there is also a lot is still to follow up. Like a lot of shit is still going to go down after this. He has a lot to worry about, but in this moment right now, he can just be with his family and enjoy a nice meal.
I also think it's like he's able to, he's like almost the scene in the restaurant and with everybody there was almost like the eye of the storm. Like he was able to find peace in all of this calamity.
That's kind of how I saw it.
And like this craziness.
It's a good one.
He found shelter during the storm.
Yeah. And he was able to everything that's going on around him, what he's had with his mom, his relationship with his psychiatrist. He went absolutely ballistic in this episode. Let's not forget that. He was about to kill Junior, and he killed Mikey, or he had Mikey whacked, and all of this is happening around him, and he's still able to find a sense of peace in this restaurant, in Artie's restaurant, after Artie accused him of doing what we know for a fact he did. And he went through all of that. Like, so it feels like at the end of this all, he was still able to find some sort of peace. What that means for the future, I'm yet to know. And I'm curious what will happen and how long the peace will last for. Probably not long, just knowing his occupation and like everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Keep in mind too that this is everyone occupying Artie's restaurant in this moment are people who were involved with burning down his restaurant per se.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know that because he's taking Tony's word for it.
Right.
So he has a bunch of people that are lying to him in this moment as well, and he's still accepting them in there. So
yeah,
I think that's another, another big symbolism there, because I don't know, there's they're just wolves, all of them.
Yeah, in the den, in your own house kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's tough because you can look at the morality of it, and I know Artie doesn't really see, like, the way Artie approached the situation, knowing what actually happened. It felt like he was super upset about all of that, right? He had this rage and all of that. And I can see that, but at the same time, like, there were valid reasons for why Tony did what he did, and at the end of the day, he was trying to protect his friend. So it's tough, but still, I think what Charlie's saying is facts. They're all, wolves in sheep's clothing, I guess is one way to put it. Right?
Yeah.
They're all kind of sitting there with Artie's hospitality, while knowing very well that they had a very big hand in why he's at this restaurant and not the one that's been in his family for generations.
True. Do you think what Tony did, put yourself in Tony's shoes, do you think what he did to Artie was something right? Do you think with everything going on in the situation, do you think it made sense for him?
Yeah, it's tough,
Could he
man.
avoided it, or there was no choice?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he could have avoided it. I mean, it was just an ultimatum, right?
Yeah.
He had to make a choice, do nothing, and potentially his friend's business would be hurt, but that wouldn't have been his fault, right? Or he could have, or he did what he did, and now his friend, without already knowing anything, he even admits he's super happy with his new place. He loves it. Everything's going well. Regardless of the fact, like, the only fact is that knowing that Tony might have done something with it soils it. That's what I think he's having a hard time with. But now that he's moved past it, it feels like he's in a good place. So I don't know. I feel like I probably might have done the same thing as Tony, but I don't know. I'm no mob boss, bro. I couldn't do this shit.
Charlie, there was a significant moment in this episode. Tony finally admitted that he was seeing a psychiatrist. And it was a big moment, especially with, the culture at the time, and also still today, how it's really hard to just tell people, hey, I'm seeing a psychologist, I'm going to therapy. But obviously, in his sake, man's in the mob.
Right.
Was there some key things that stood out to you when he was opening up to his crew? Certain character that stood out to you?
I think just their reactions, because, we were kind of debating in the moment there, like, because they were all very silent. We were debating what they were thinking until they finally, like, spoke out and said stuff. So getting to know that Paulie has seen a psychiatrist, he said a year prior, it's pretty shocking, because the way that they've built it up so far in the show, you expect everyone to have the same reaction as Livia or Junior or Mikey, like all those people. But it seems like the people that are close to Tony are kind of almost on the same, like, mindset as him when it comes to that. So that was good to see. It was surprising. But then Christopher's reaction is what had me intrigued.
Super interesting.
Had me intrigued, because I'm not sure exactly what's going on there with his reaction. The one thing that it takes me back to is when they were earlier on in the season, when they were driving together in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony was, like, laughing about, people killing themselves and whatever, like saying, oh, they're weak, they're losers.
Yeah, but that was after he asked Christopher about it to see if he was in the same boat. And, he had some different responses than maybe Tony would have had, or not as honest.
Exactly. But I think Tony in that moment was trying to get Christopher to have someone to talk about those things with.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they both kind of weren't comfortable with talking about it with each other. So they kind of deflected in that way. But I think maybe the deflection is maybe what Christopher's thinking back to. And then also other actions as well. But he's probably just thinking back to that and being like, oh, so you do, go through these things and you're trying to seek help.
Yeah.
Because he was just there recently.
Yeah, I don't know. It almost felt a little bit like Christopher felt betrayed.
Yeah, that's how I saw it.
Because the way that he ran out of there was so quick and super like almost like, I can't believe this, right? And he also, like, they were all, if you look at Silvio and Paulie and Christopher, Silvio and Paulie were, like, kind of calm and still. Christopher was, like, kind of like antsy. Like, if you look a little bit,
very anxious.
You could tell he's like processing all this, like, super quickly. And I think he was struggling to process it, because I think in his mind, he's like, Tony Soprano he is the top of the top. He's
That's the guy.
He is the guy. He is the boss. And there's no one tougher than Tony. There's nobody who's can handle more than Tony. And he's seeing a psychiatrist. Like, it could be that. But it also could be like, damn, like you kind of saw what I was going through. Like, you wouldn't admit what was happening to you, to me, and we could have had like an honest dialogue about it. Because I almost felt too like when Tony was talking to him in the car the first time, I didn't feel like Christopher was fully honest about the stuff that he was feeling, like on his own perspective. You know, they both kind of deflected, and it was like, oh, you know, people are weak or whatever. Like, but they both know in their heart of hearts, like they struggle with that shit.
Yes, that is true. I mean, that scene reminded me of The Breakfast Club. I know have you guys seen The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
It felt like it was a callback to that. Shout out The Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Back there. But Paulie at the end of this episode really stood out to me. I think from especially that last scene, man, the way that he was looking just out into the room, I was like, man, he is gonna have a shift.
Think so?
I think Paulie's gonna have a shift. I think him knowing that his psychiatrist was a woman and not a man, I think that really bothered him. And then I don't know. I just feel like
Paulie's a little bit of a sicko.
Yeah, Paulie is a psycho, bro.
Yeah, he's got a screw loose or a couple.
And I just think I don't know. I just see something in Paulie, man. I think
Yeah.
Paulie's heading towards a.
Yeah, you think he could betray Tony?
Yeah, I'm
I feel
thinking it's that
too.
kind of way. I don't know, man.
It's so interesting because I feel like Paulie's pretty loyal. I mean, Silvio is the loyalest loyal like that there is.
Yeah.
He's stupid loyal. He barely batted an eye at this news. Right?
I think Paulie's the character that kind of will. I think as the show develops, he's going to be the one that kind of will question Tony's authority. I think that's going to be his role.
Interesting. Don't spoil in the damn comments.
No, please don't. But that's kind of how I'm seeing how they're building Paulie, and especially like him realizing, oh shoot, Tony's our psychiatrist, but knowing that it was a woman, really like it affected him.
Yeah, it's interesting
in a very weird way.
I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest with you, because I feel like this is like a very small sample size of something from Paulie for us to see, for me to be able to make a lot out of it. I do think they are foreshadowing something and trying to turn you on to Paulie's character a little bit and be like, watch out for this guy. But I'm not entirely sure what that is. It could be what you're saying, but I don't know if I'm sold on it. I'm very curious to see how his character progresses because, you know, he seemed a little bit kind of like the loyal guard dog, right? Like he's like, you know, he's always the one ready to do the whacking, right? And he, you know, as you saw with Mikey and everything. But it just something about him is a little off, and I wish I could put it better into words, but I can't. I don't know what it is.
Charlie pointed out a lot of editing mistakes in this episode. We saw.
It's not really mistakes. It's just you gotta choose the best take.
Yeah.
And make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But Livia.
Before we get to that, there was some like unintentionally hilarious moments in this. I don't know if it was just us or maybe we just laugh at like stuff like this. But when the FBI pulled up and the shaky cam to Corrado's house and he's in the window and they're like, Junior Corrado, FBI. Oh shit. I died, bro. I don't know why that was so funny to me. There was a couple other things too.
I just think because it was like called back to mob movies and in the past, but also the way they were shooting. It's
yeah. It was very, I mean, very classic.
So it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be serious, but I don't know. I think just because it's older.
Because we're looking at it from the past.
Yeah.
At the time.
At the time,
like.
Yeah. That's badass. I get it for sure. That stuff is whatever. I actually really appreciate those scenes with the mob killings and whatever, because it's it's a very stylistic thing. Like it's very synonymous with like a Goodfellas or like a Casino, like those types of mob films. Maybe Godfather, like those type of things. Scarface.
Although I've never seen this motion.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Tony,
I feel like that would have been
on the boat.
I don't think they were using Desert Eagles or anything like that. I feel like the Desert Eagle, maybe the recoil would be that crazy.
If you know which other movie they did that, That
let us
recoil
know.
right
Let us
there.
know.
Let
I'd
us
love to
know.
see it.
I got to see that.
But like the whole getting shot in the body's like dot dot dot. You know what I mean? Like all that.
Oh, even Mikey.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the frame rate drops. It's super stylistic, and I can appreciate it. Like not hating in the slightest, especially from the three of us. Like we can appreciate that stuff. So it's cool. I'm just interested to see how it changes because obviously the show goes on for a while.
Yeah.
We're gonna be into the mid 2000s when this show finishes.
Yes, we are.
So
it's gonna look so different.
It's gonna look
I can
super different.
Imagine already.
Yeah,
the shift is gonna be crazy.
Right.
But
Livia, sorry.
Yes. No. Sticking with Livia now. Damn.
We're like in this caught between two minds.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right now because everybody, half of the people believe her, half of the people don't. In this episode, even we can see.
Yeah.
You know, we are already out here believing her, taking everything she's saying at face value, even though, you know, she's showing some signs of not knowing who the hell he is, all that. You got her showing up to the house and, you know, supposedly not knowing where she is, not recognizing Meadow, not even recognizing Anthony Jr. as her grandson, all of that. And it's like, part of me is like, damn, that's a lot to commit to a bit. You know what I mean?
like, dang, that's for the bit.
That's some commitment to really make people believe. You got to walk all the way from your nursing home to your son's house, and at 1 a.m, you know what I mean? Like, but then again, if she has borderline personality disorder, then from what we were understanding from Dr. Melfi, everything that she does is to stir the pot and to cause conflict.
But let's remember the first things that were happening at the beginning of the show when the show started. You know, her almost driving her car, almost when she drove her car, almost into her house basically. Or it was into her house, almost lighting her house on fire.
True.
Like, bro, there was moments where you're like, nah,
True.
There's things where she does need to, you know, have care around her.
Yeah. The thing that the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, what? Both can be true.
Yes,
like,
I think
she can have borderline personality disorder. First of all, I think she does. 100%. She is insufferable. She's joyless. She constantly wants to cause conflict within her own circle, and then she also is very forgetful and not being able to take care of herself and progressively getting worse in that sense. She had a stroke at the end. Whether or not Tony believed her is one thing, but like stroke is medical. Like doctors know when you have a stroke, so like she's not faking that. She's clearly in poor health. So I think it can be both. I don't know if that's like a popular take out there for fans of the show or whatever. But I think she can be both, and I think it's a very dangerous combo for her to be borderline personality disorder and then Alzheimer's or dementia. Like that's insane. That's something.
So with Livia, Charlie, from her development from episode 1 down to episode 13. What were some of the significant things that have stood out to you? What you've seen from her, and the impact that she's had on this show so far? Because I feel like now she's become a forefront on everything. you know,
she's like the character that you kind of just forget about, just leave in the corner from in the very beginning to now progress to being basically calling the shots or influencing the shots being called with Junior wanting to kill her own son, all this crap. To now potentially maybe faking that she has, dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, and people in the comments are either spoiling or not spoiling or throwing us off, whatever the hell it might be. We don't know. But, I'm curious now what happens after the stroke, because there are a couple of things at play here. So either she's fine and she heard everything that Tony said to her, and but now without Junior, she doesn't really have any sort of control, or she is actually affected by the stroke. Yeah,
and Tony has to kind of eat his words a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And that could lead to showing that she didn't that she actually does have these problems, like the personality disorder, the Alzheimer's, whatnot.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's super interesting to see, because the things that Davi was mentioning about the beginning of the season, like those are the points that really convinced me that she does have some sort of Alzheimer's. But then you have Carmela blatantly being like, she's faking.
Yeah,
she's faking. And I mean, granted, Carmela has the most motive to say something like that.
I think it's because she's just dealt with a lot of crap with her.
Oh, yeah.
You know, ever since she probably got into the family.
100%. Yeah, I think Olivia, bro, she stirs the pot. She is the ultimate gaslighter, like 100%. And not only to Tony, like she gaslights Junior.
Yeah.
Like the second that, and again, this might be the Alzheimer's, it might not be, but he came in and he's like, what was this about you not knowing your own granddaughter? And then he was saying like, what the hell's up with you? You know very well what you did. And she's like, my son, I would never do that. Bro, she's gaslighting everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's just like an element of chaos. Like she really, really is.
Maybe all of that is part of the dementia, Alzheimer's.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
What,
all of that.
the gaslighting stuff?
Yeah, all of it.
I mean, it could be. That's what I'm saying. It could be part of the Alzheimer's, or it could just be her gaslighting because she, has these other conditions from the jump.
No, but it could be because of the backstory, the small backstory that we got on her. She definitely can just be naturally like gaslighting.
Right,
people.
right. From what we saw with Tony's dad and Tony when he was a kid, all that. Yeah, 100%.
So it's tough. She's a tough character to really dissect
fascinating,
because there's a lot of things at play with her in general.
Yeah. We talked about Tony already in terms of being peaceful, but like, let's also remember like towards the beginning of the episode, like this man was going ballistic, absolutely ballistic, in terms of like flipping the table in Dr. Melfi's office and like basically assaulting her, to some degree. Like he was going crazy. And again, I think it was a trigger.
It was a trigger
to Livia.
Yep.
And this is the biggest thing now. And I feel like part of him being peaceful, do you think maybe it's because he's like finally seeing the light about his mother?
That's a good question. I think he's kind of seeing it, if that makes sense. I think he's like getting closer to it, but he's not fully there yet because he still hasn't confronted it. He tried to confront it, but when he did confront it, you saw how he did it literally at the worst way possible.
Right. He didn't actually talk about it.
He actually did not talk about it.
Right.
But also, when he went to go talk to his mom, she just had a stroke, and he went to confront her, and he went ballistic. So it's like, bro, you're trying. I think he's trying to confront it, but when he does confront it, it like really, it like
true.
It like.
But you have to think about how people are nurtured and how people are raised.
Yes.
And this is how
he was raised.
He was raised through her.
Yeah.
Do we remember what happened that episode where they were sitting around eating Chinese takeout?
What episode? Who was eating on Chinese takeout?
The family.
The family was. I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Just him, his wife, and his kids. Not with Livia or
No,
Junior.
I can't. Why?
Because I'm just I was thinking back to that moment because I feel like that's the last time that we saw them just as a
family themselves.
He was talking. He was talking about Italian pride. He was talking about American Italian pride.
Right.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, but I'm saying what happened in the episode as a whole.
That also was the episode that they were. Dr. Melfi was talking to her family about the Italians and the mob and what benefit Italians have had to all of that. Why? What's your kind of?
No, I'm asking because I wonder if it's a certain occurrence that happens in the episode that then leads to him having a close family moment.
I see. Oh, so maybe something with Livia happened prior to that. Yeah, it's a good question. I can't quite recall, but let us know if you remember exactly in that episode. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think you're right about Tony not being able to confront it.
He can't.
And I think that it's obviously a result of his upbringing and the culture around him and his own relationship with his mother, that the only way that he can actually confront is through anger and like.
Yeah, because every single time he actually confronts it, he's either hurting someone else or he's like hurting himself.
Right.
So is it get to a point where when he does confront it, is he gonna kill someone or is he gonna? I don't want to say that word, but is he gonna do it to himself?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's too much for him to. I don't know. He's just gone through so
too much to bear.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, is it too much weight on his shoulder?
Mm-hmm. But it's weird because at the end of this episode, it feels like a weight's been lifted off, even after yelling at his mother, like all that stuff. And you know what? Like, some people just harbor so much hatred and anger towards like their parents or family members or whatever. And, you know, not that I condone anybody going up to their mother and, you know, yelling at them after they've had a stroke, but like that must have been some sort of release for him, right? In some way or fashion. I don't think he fully addressed the issues and like is becoming a better person now, but I'm sure that there was some sense of release in that because he's never, from what we know, he's never confronted his mother in that way.
No, he got a relief, but something's going to come back. You know, he's going to have to confront it again.
Right.
So what happens when he confronts it again?
Right.
Is it going to get worse, or is it because we understand that he hasn't been able to control his emotions.
No.
And the way it's heading, I don't think he's going to be able to.
No. Right. But again, like I think the biggest times where he ends up going ballistic is when it has to do with his mom.
Oh yeah, 100%. She is a forefront into how. I mean, she was around with him the entire time, and every single time she was always talking about, oh, your father this, your father that, to Tony. So Tony inherited all that.
Yep.
And that really affected how he moved and how he moved growing up. You know, how he was raised, how he operated, and everything. So this is fascinating, man. Livia and Tony are two characters, truly, just from one season.
Very much a character study.
That I've, man, like Barry took me a couple episodes to get into. This show was just like that, just because of just how they constructed these two characters.
Yeah. And honestly, Livia's character took a while to kind of come to the forefront and for you to try to really understand her role in the show. But once you did, the buildup was so methodical and you really understand how much of an effect she has on Tony. And we learned that through therapy too, right? Like we learned that, you know, Dr. Melfi's trying to get at those things, but once you see like Livia pulling the strings in the background, seeing how Tony reacts to certain things, it really paints you the picture of like, this feels like a mother and son battle, like this entire show.
Yes,
like
it does.
That's the big internal battle that he's fighting. Like, yes, this is a mob show. Yes, this is a man who's troubled, depressed, with all that. Like, his biggest internal battle was with his mother. Like, that's the clearest thing.
Yeah, and I think the way it ends is, I don't know, you know, in a good world, he comes to a conclusion that he forgives himself, forgives her, and tries to move on. But I don't think he can move on from it. I don't think he ever can.
I think this is something that eats the character alive.
Yeah.
And eats away at him until something explodes. And it seems like we already saw a glimpse of it.
Yeah. And I think that's where it's heading.
How would y'all... Sorry, Davi. I feel like
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I feel like I want to hear you talk.
Okay, you want to hear me talk?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
How would you guys rate this season? Not necessarily in terms of numbers, but like, what are some things that really, looking back at the season, you really enjoyed, you really liked? Because I think we can all agree this is a great first season introduction to the show.
Yes.
And what are you looking forward to seeing in the next seasons as the show progresses?
I enjoy the family feud.
Family feud.
Yeah. I'll keep it short and sweet because it's getting late and I got to be up early for work.
Okay.
But I enjoy the family feud aspect of it. Everyone butting heads and the, power trip that everyone goes on. And going forward, I want to see how it changes because now seems like it won't be so much of a family feud issue because Junior is now arrested. His head honchos, like his right-hand men, are gone too. So Tony is going to have to deal with other people.
Right.
Other rivals that we may not have been introduced to yet. So
right.
I want to see how they can make that more interesting than your own uncle hating you and wanting you dead.
True.
Yeah.
And your mother too.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Davi.
I think with the mob films that I've seen, all of it has dealt with like power trips and people like trying to one up one another. And it's like all about like fighting for your guys, your group. This one is so different because it deals with the psychology of it. And that's something I think I've never seen where you have the human element where someone is going to therapy and seeing how that's a huge effect on, the mob around you. I think that was something that was really captivating to me when the show even started, and it's been something that I've loved so much about the show. Also, just knowing that this is like the bookmark for a lot of other shows, and why if we wouldn't have The Sopranos, we would not have like Breaking Bad if it wasn't for The Sopranos, right? We wouldn't have.
This is the blueprint.
This is the blueprint. This is the map. And knowing that, and finally seeing it is like, wow,
it's really
I
cool.
Get it now. Like, oh my gosh, I see the impact that this show has on the industry, and it's incredible. And now I understand why it has such a strong following, because I can tell it has impacted so many people. Just because it addresses like family trauma, it just addresses things that I don't think TV has done, in the past, and it tackles a lot of issues that, and it's crazy to me that they were talking about it in the 90s, So I think
it goes way deeper than I thought. I initially thought. Even when I first saw him go into psychiatry, I'm like, how deep could they really go into this? But talking about his dreams and analyzing them, and the symbolism that it can have to his daily life, like all this stuff is very super in depth into a person's psyche. Another thing that I really loved seeing, I think it was kind of underrated, just a dynamic, is the dynamic between Junior and Tony, and the difference in leadership styles.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that, because you see a mob leader who is very rash, is very guns blazing all the time. And not to say that Tony is not guns blazing when it's appropriate, but he's a lot more methodical and thinks things out a little bit more than Junior, even being younger. So I really appreciated that. And the family dynamics, everything you guys have said, show's phenomenal. Thank you to everybody who came from our Succession reactions and recommended the show. It's been awesome watching the first season with you guys, and I'm just super happy that we get to share this with a bunch of people who love the show and have seen it.
Yes, I am so excited to keep going. Before we end this, I just want to know, what was your favorite episode of the season?
Episode 12.
Yeah, mine too.
Isabella.
Yeah.
I think
that one, and the road trip with Meadow to colleges.
Oh yeah,
love that episode.
Yeah,
love that episode where he has to whack the dude. That way back in the day, I forgot the exact thing, but I love that episode. The confrontation that he has with Meadow, and Meadow confronting him about the mob, all that. So good.
Yeah, that was good. Christopher's episode was also good too.
Indeed.
It was a great episode. But y'all, thank you so much for watching season 1 of The Sopranos with us. If you're new here and you just found out that we're watching this show, join us, subscribe, and also guys, please comment your thoughts on this video, on this reaction, and please like this video and subscribe. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. We love you guys, and see you soon for season 2 of The Sopranos. Peace. Y'all.